Hello, everybody. Welcome back, I guess, to my podcast. This is my second episode. And happy Halloween. I doubt I'll get this out for Halloween, but I'm recording on Halloween, and that's why I'm dressed as a cowboy. I'm not going to say which specific cowboy. I mean, it doesn't really show it off that well. Here I am, but if you can guess what cowboy it is, comment. I want to see if anyone gets it. But yes, I actually have quite a lot of stuff to talk about today. Not really news as such, I guess. Just like what I've listened to, what I've watched and stuff. So yeah, I guess I'll just get right into that now then. Okay, so one of the albums I listened to is America's Top Number One. What is it? America's Next Top Party by Party of Two. That's what it's called. It came out on the 17th of October this year, 2025. And I think, if I've done my research correctly, Party of Two is made up by Swim and Jada Grace, who I hadn't heard of before. But yeah, I've been recommended this album by Spotify and stuff, so I thought I'd give it a listen. I think I first heard of them like last month, maybe. When I saw a TikTok of theirs about filming a music video, and the sound was cool. I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. These guys seem cool. Hopefully do good, you know. Oh my gosh, there's kids screaming outside. I listened to this album. Can't remember when I listened to it, to be honest. But yeah, I did enjoy it. My thought on it is the sound it's not really anything new, but it's also not common. So like, it's a sound I've heard before in other music, and I'm kind of used to, because that's kind of more my style of like rap music that I listen to. But at the same time, it's not new. So it's not new, but at the same time, it's not something people commonly make, I guess. It's not like your typical rap pop, but it is like kind of close to that. But there's some cool production things in the album which I enjoyed. The standout track for me is Friendly Fire, mainly because it is just such a interesting idea. It's so weird, because I don't think I've heard a song by a band where they're just like hating on each other. It's so weird. It's such a weird track, but I don't know, it worked. It was cool. I just noticed you can see that. That's my light. I didn't know it was in the camera. But yeah, it's a pretty good album. If I was to give it a rating, maybe like a 7 out of 10. It wasn't bad. It was pretty good. I also listened to Charm by Clairo. That album came out on the 12th of July 2024. I listened to it because like I've seen a bunch of people be like, oh yeah, Clairo's so good. I love Clairo, and like, she's not bad. I wouldn't say she's bad, definitely not. And yeah, she's definitely not bad. She's got a really nice voice, and her writing's pretty good. But I listened to one of her albums before, which was her 2019 album called Immunity, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know, it just didn't click with me. I didn't really like it. I mean, not that it's bad or anything, it just wasn't for me. And like, if you like that album, then good. That's great. Just, it wasn't for me. I didn't really like it. Maybe because I was expecting more, since everyone's like, Claire's so good. But yeah, this album I really liked. I thought the production was a lot better. The mixing was a lot cleaner. There's some cool jazz elements in it, which I really appreciated, because I love jazz. And I thought the album cover, one thing about a good album cover is that you can kind of tell what the album's trying to do just by looking at the album cover, and this album cover is like that. Like when you look at the album cover, you're like, oh yeah, that's what this album's going to be, you know. You can tell what it's going to sound like before you actually listen to it. So yeah, I enjoyed that album. If I was to give it a rating, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. It was pretty good. This one's a bit weird. So Danny Gonzalez, the YouTuber, the commentary YouTuber, I noticed this week, a few days ago, that there's some songs on his Spotify that did not sound like him at all. It was very strange, and I was very confused by it. And I think I have figured it out. So what happens with distribution services, and I think it's more Spotify than any other streaming service, is if someone has the same name as somebody else, and then you put that name into the streaming service when you're uploading the song, it will go to the original person who has that name. So someone else by the name of Danny Gonzalez must have made these songs and uploaded them under the name Danny Gonzalez, and it went to Danny Gonzalez's Spotify instead of a new Spotify, which is it confused me a lot, because it was 2 singles, Pure Joy and Bright Bright Days, and I listened to Pure Joy because I was like, oh, new Danny Gonzalez song, and it came out of nowhere, and it seems like it's gonna be just like a actual song, because he's more known for making like comedy songs. So I listened to it and I was like, this does not sound like Danny Gonzalez. It was a very strange song. I'm not gonna give my opinions on it, because I don't really care, to be honest. So yeah, I looked at the credits that you can do. You can look at the credits on Spotify. It turns out the writer, forgive me if I mispronounce this name, it's quite long, was Angie Lorena Celi Gonzalez. I don't know who that is. I searched it up on Google. I could not find anything about a songwriter called that. I'm not going to say it again, it's a mouthful. But it did take me to a YouTube, like, you know how like on YouTube if you get like music topics and it's like Gorillaz topic or whatever, and it's a bunch of Gorillaz song. Well, it was Danny Gonzalez topic, but instead of it just being Gonzalez like written in with like English letters, the A had a little accent. So if I'm right, I think there's a guy called Danny Gonzalez with an accent above the A who also makes music, because this song, this account already had 2 songs. I think I wrote them down here, Lento and Crystal. I didn't listen to them, so I can't say if it's the same guy. But yeah, that showed up on the same like account thing. So it might be the same guy who made those songs, and if so, then that's who this is, which kind of solves this mystery. But one thing, and it does matter in the bigger picture, but in this contained story of Danny Gonzalez, it doesn't really matter. It sounds kind of AI generated. I thought I was maybe alone on this, but I went onto the Danny Gonzalez subreddit, and a lot of people agree that it sounds AI generated. Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know if it is. I'm not gonna make any accusations. But if it is AI generated, that I'm not cool with that. I think AI generated stuff like that is just, I hate it so much. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about with that. If you have any information on that, I'd love to know, because it's a very strange case that I came across by myself, and I just wanted to bring it up here. And this last one, I listened to the Sinners soundtrack as soon as I watched Sinners movie last Thursday. I was like, I need to listen to this soundtrack. So that night I listened to the soundtrack, and oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. The standout track for me is obviously I Lied to You. That scene alone is amazing, but the song, the genre Brenton, it's so good. Like, I love it so much. But the Scottish in me loves some of the more Celtic songs, even more, though they're more Irish than Scottish. But Will You Go, Lassie Go, that's such a beautiful song. It's very pretty. And The Rocky Road to Dublin, again, that's more Irish, but very, very fun song. I just love this soundtrack so much. It's probably my favourite movie soundtrack ever now. So yeah, I love it so much. The actual like backing soundtrack, there's a name for it, but I can't remember. But like not the actual songs, but more like the songs to set the scene and stuff. That soundtrack was produced by Ludwig Göransson, and some of the songs on like that they sing, I think he also produced them. I hear his production in I Lied to You, but I'm not too sure if that's actually him. I first knew him from Childish Gambino. He's worked with Childish Gambino a lot. But he's also done a lot of like soundtracks for movies and TV shows and stuff. I think the way he actually met Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover. Oh, there he is. Like wrong side. There he is. Childish Gambino. The way they met, I think, was on Community, because I'm pretty sure he did the music for Community. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Again, one of my favourite soundtracks ever. It's just so good. I think it's got some very beautiful songs, and again, the Celtic songs. There's a part of me that loves the Celtic songs. So, on to movies now. There's a couple things that I want to just, I guess, get out of the way. So I'll go through them quick. A trailer for Stranger Things Season 5 released. I mean, I don't know why, I'm just not feeling the excitement for it that I want to feel. Because I love Stranger Things. I've loved it for a while now. But I don't know, I'm just not getting the hype. I can't feel the hype. I feel like they've kind of gone too big now. Like, the first two seasons, they were like a lot more grounded. And like, I feel like that works more for what they were trying to do. And I prefer that a lot more than like the season 4 where it's like 10 massive movies, or 9 or 8 or how many there was. Like, it just feels a bit too much. Like you're doing it too big. I just calm it down a bit, but I don't seem they're gonna do that. And I'll still be watching. I mean, I was wondering for a while if I will be, since they kept on Noah Schnapp, which makes sense. He's one of the main characters, but especially because they kept on Brett Gelman. Awful person. I don't know why they kept him on. He's said some awful stuff about Palestine. I don't know why they kept him on. So that was kind of making me think I might not watch this season. But you know what? I think I will. Just even if it's just to speak about it on this podcast. And that's actually similar to Scream 7. A trailer for Scream 7 released. And again, I probably wasn't going to watch this. If it wasn't for this podcast, depending on how well this podcast does and how long I continue it for, I will probably watch this movie just so I can review it on this podcast. But I wasn't really planning on it because they fired someone for supporting Palestine, which is just awful. That's like insane. Like, how will you do that? But I mean, Stranger Things won't fire a guy who says everything about Palestine's a lie, and Palestine are actually all terrible people. Like, come on, you know. That's why, especially why I don't want to watch Stranger Things, because he wasn't fired, but someone who shown support for Palestine was fired from Scream, which just doesn't make any sense to me. And she was the main character. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on. That really annoys me. Yeah. So again, I probably wasn't going to watch this movie. I've watched the first one and the fifth one. Pretty decent movies, not bad. Scream 1 probably the best that I've seen. I need to watch others. But yeah, I've also found out, I think yesterday or today, that Joel McHale's going to be in this movie. I have a feeling he's going to be one of the ghost faces. I imagine there's going to be more than one. But yeah, I imagine Joel McHale, who I know from Community, I imagine he's going to be one of the ghost faces. And it seems likely now that Matthew Lillard is going to be in this movie, because it's like pretty much what everyone's asking for. I mean, like, when's Matthew Lillard coming back, you know? And it makes sense. He was like the best part of the first Scream movie, so yeah. The new It TV show, I said show weird there. The new It TV show, Welcome to Derry. Welcome to Derry. The first 2 episodes have released as of Friday the 31st of... It's Friday, yes. Friday the 31st of October. The first episode was insane. The start and the end both were insane. So yeah, I was not expecting that ending at all. I think I'm safe to say now, from now on, there's going to be a lot of spoilers for the rest of the things that I speak about. They killed like most of the children. That's insane. I was wondering when this show was announced, like how many ever years ago it was now, how they were going to do this, because obviously like they can't win against Pennywise because he's still alive in the 80s, and what was it, 2023, 2022 when Chapter 2 came out. So obviously, like, nobody can win against Pennywise. So how are they going to do this? Everyone's going to die. Because I was not expecting them to kill off 3 children. Well, actually, 4 children if you include the start in the first episode. That's insane. Like, and it was brutal as well. I mean, it must be amazing to be those kids. Like, it must be so cool being killed. It sounds weird, but I mean, I want to be in a horror movie. Like, put me in a Saw movie just so I can get killed by an elaborate trap. I'd love that. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, I was thinking actually during the first episode that the 2 male leads, the 2 kids, they weren't the best. They weren't bad by any means. A lot better than anything I could do. But I didn't think they were the best at acting, which now that makes more sense since they got killed off. They didn't really need the best actors for that. Again, they weren't bad. Shout out to those kids for, being able to actually act at all. In the second episode, it felt a lot more calmer, I guess. There was some cool scenes. This scene in the shopping, I don't even know what, a grocery store, I guess, because it's not a supermarket. Yeah, I guess a grocery store. The scene there, that was really cool. I think it looked like it was mainly practical, except for obviously the guy in the pickle jar. That was not practical at all. But there was a scene where they like push another shelving unit towards, like, to block off something, and that looked practical to me. It looked like a sorry, something fell. It looked like a play, like a stage play to me, which I thought, gosh, my cats are going as crazy. I keep getting distracted. This is awful. But yeah, it looked like a stage play to me, which I thought was really cool. I love anything that looks like a stage play. When it's a movie, I think that's such a cool stylistic choice. Um, so yeah, there was a few scenes there that I found really cool, and also it's surprising that like the parents, the majority of the parents, they're actually nice people, because in the It movie, all the adults were absolutely awful people. But in this movie, they seem to actually be nice, which is surprising. So yeah, I'm not too sure if I will be continuing to watch. I really want to. I find it really interesting, and I want to know where it goes. But at the same time, I'd have to continue paying my Now TV subscription, which is a complete scam. I feel like I should say, for legality's sake or whatever, so I don't get sued, it's not actually a scam. I just personally think it is overpriced and not worth the money. And I will explain that now. It's insane. There's like 5 different subscriptions you can get. There's a TV one, a movie one, a sports one, and I'm pretty sure there's 4 or 5. So there's 1 or 2 more subscriptions you can get. The one for TV shows is £10. Okay, £10. It has adverts and non-skippable adverts, and you can't watch movies. It's just TV shows, which that is such a scam. Like, come on. I mean, again, not actually a scam. Not the actual definition of a scam. Just very overpriced and not worth the money. So yeah, I really want to continue watching this. Tell me in the comments below if you think I should shelve out the £10 a month just to watch this show, and I will do it. I'll do it for my loyal viewers. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about for like that quick get it over with section. The main topic of movies this week is The Black Phone and Black Phone 2. I watched The Black Phone for the first time, I think last Friday, and then me and my mum went to see Black Phone 2 in the cinemas on Saturday. I'll go through the Black Phone 1 first. It came out in 2021. It's based on a short story by Joe Hill. It's directed by Scott Derrickson, and it's also the screenplay is also by Scott Derrickson and a guy called C. Robert Cargill, and I think that says Cargill. Sorry if I've said it wrong. They both worked on the first Doctor Strange movie and the Sinister movies, or at least the first Sinister movie. I'm not sure about the rest. I thought I recognised the name Scott Derrickson when I was watching the movie, and it's probably because of Doctor Strange. That's probably where I know him from. Yeah, I quite liked this movie. I thought it was pretty good. It's not your typical horror movie. Like, it does. The main bad guy, called the Grabber, he does feel like he'd be your typical slasher villain, but it's not anything like that at all. And I think that's really cool. It's not, it's not your typical horror movie, which I already said, but it's not, it's more, I don't know, it's more of like a psychological thing, I'd say. It's an interesting concept because, it's grounded in reality, but it's also got these, more paranormal elements to it. And to be honest, the paranormal elements kind of took me out a bit, even though it's like the main plot. But it took me a bit to getting used to because I thought it was quite strange. But I think it worked for what they were trying to do. Ethan Hawke plays the Grabber, and I thought he was good. He was pretty good. He was pretty good at playing this intimidating, creepy guy. But I did feel like how he played the character kind of felt like other villains I've seen before. I can't name them. I don't know. I just can't grab who I'm thinking of, but I know how he played it made me think of other horror villains. But that's not to say that he did a bad job. I think he did a very good job with this character, and he kind of brought to life this movie. The child actors, amazing, genuinely amazing. There's one scene that I don't think would have worked without the ability of the child actors. I'm not going to get into it because it's quite dark. But that was genuinely the most uncomfortable scene for me, and it's all to do with the child actors. It was so good. It was such a good acting performance there. Again, I'm not going to go too into detail about it because I don't want to talk about dark stuff too much. But a big theme about this movie is child abuse. What the heck? That is not the right time to be my words. Oh my gosh, that's awful. Child abuse. Yes. It's very obvious. That's the main theme of this movie. The dad, he abuses his children. He hits them and stuff. And obviously, it's this guy who kidnaps children. It's obviously about child abuse. It's not really hidden. And I thought they handled it quite well. I mean, I can't really say if it's accurate, because I've not experienced it. I've not known anyone who's experienced that, at least not to my knowledge. But yeah, I thought they handled it quite well. Like things with that which are such sensitive topics, they could be handled badly. It's a hit or miss, You either handle it well or you don't. And I found it interesting how they delved into what actually causes it, because the dad at the end of the movie, you get a more sympathetic light of the character. It doesn't excuse his actions. I don't think the movie's trying to excuse his actions, but it's letting you know why it is how he acts, why he acts how he acts, and it's because his wife killed herself, or that's what makes it seem. The second movie kind of retcons that, but yeah, he thinks his wife killed herself because she's got all these dreams that she thinks are real, that she's seen things and stuff like that. And his daughter has the same thing. She has these dreams that is telling her stuff, and that's what makes him angry. That's what makes him. It's kind of a level of so protective that you're actually harming them, and they show this very literally. That's the scene I was talking about earlier. They show that very literally. Very disturbing scene, probably the most disturbing in this movie, and it's about children getting kidnapped and murdered, which it says a lot. But yeah, again, it doesn't excuse his actions, but it gives more of a context to it and why he's doing that. Because he does care about his children. He doesn't want what happened to their mum to happen to them. So he's scared. That's why he's really forcing it into them that what you're seeing isn't real. It's not real. He doesn't want them to end up like their mother, which I thought was interesting, because a lot of with movies and TV shows that handle child abuse, they don't really go into what causes it. They just are like, yeah, this happens, and it does. I mean, a lot of the time that is it, but there is a lot of the time stuff that goes into it, So yeah, I think this movie, I rated it 3 stars on Letterboxd. I mean, it's difficult. I think it's a better movie than the second one. I'll get to that in a minute. But I actually think I enjoyed the second one more. I gave them both the same rating on Letterboxd. But yeah, I think I enjoyed the second one more, but this one's actually better. So yeah, I'll get onto the second one in a second. Obviously, same things as the first one. It's based on a short story, but the cast and crew is actually the same. It's the same director and same writers. This movie, I can see it being controversial. Not in the typical sense, more in a way that it's like, some people think it's good, some people think it's bad. There's another word, but I cannot get it. But yeah, I enjoy this movie. I thought it was a fun movie. Again, even though it's about children getting murdered. But yeah, I don't know. I had fun while watching it, which makes me sound maybe sadistic, but I'm not, I promise. Okay, so first thing, the setting of this movie, I thought it was very pretty. It's not really anything new. Friday the 13th did this, like, in the 80s or whatever. Obviously, well, not at, like, a snowy camp, but, like, at a camp, and I thought it was very pretty. It had some very nice shots. I don't know if it was the practical place with the mountains and stuff. It did kind of look like it was like a painting, but I don't know. It could be real. I don't know, but I thought it was very pretty and a very cool setting. And a very surreal setting as well, which I think works well for this movie. Another thing I liked is it was very campy, and I don't think this movie knew it was campy, which kind is a bit of a problem, because I mean, like, there's 2 ways that you have to deal with it, or 3 ways technically. There's the way where you don't recognise, or you just don't care that it's campy and you try and make it serious. Way where you do know it's campy and you kind of play into it, but not too much. And then this next way, which I think is the worst, where you know it's campy and you play into it way too much, like, just everything's a joke, I think, for me, if it was in a horror movie, that wouldn't work for me. I think that's, I want some level of seriousness to it. I think this movie was a bit too serious, or at least it tried to be. But come on, like, there's some amazing scenes that I really loved and I thought were cool, not because they're necessarily scary or anything, but because they're so campy. Like the grabber ice skating on the lake, which already sounds insane, but then he starts playing ice hockey with these 2 people, which, that is so funny. And I don't know if they, like, I don't see how they can't know that's funny. That is so funny. But it doesn't really seem like the movie was trying to make it funny. So yeah, it was kind of confusing, because I was like, this is so dumb. I guess it's so campy, but they don't know it's campy. It doesn't seem like they know that. So what am I meant to be feeling here? Am I meant to be thinking this is dumb? Or am I meant to be thinking this is awesome, this is so scary, blah blah blah? It's like, what am I meant to be thinking? I thought it was fun. I don't know if that's what I was meant to be thinking. I don't see how else you're meant to see that scene, because it was so dumb. But yeah, I thought it was quite cool. it was fun. I'll speak about the things I didn't like now. I think I have. It's not like too bad of things, but this is what, for me, I think makes it not as good as the first movie. Again, I enjoyed it more. I feel like it missed the meaning of the first movie, because again, that was about child abuse. There wasn't much themes about that in this movie. It was just this crazy guy went to this camp and he killed these kids. That was pretty much it. There was also like too many coincidences for me. Like, it's what a coincidence that the grabber went to the same camp as their mum did, and then years later they live in the same neighborhood, and her kid, or actually no, first she gets visions about him kidnapping kids. He goes to that house, finds out it's him, then she gets murdered by him, and then years later her kid gets kidnapped by him. Like, that's too many coincidences for me, like, if you're wanting to make it serious, don't do that. That doesn't make much sense. How is all this stuff connected? It feels like too much of a coincidence for me. There was this really weird scene. I think it was maybe like 30-40 minutes into the movie, where he's going over to the phone box. It rings, stops ringing or something, or I think he's going over to the phone box. It stops ringing. He turns away, starts ringing again, and then he turns around. And this is the bit that's weird. He goes to it, he picks up the phone, there's nothing there or something, I don't know, he puts it back. He walks away again, I'm pretty sure this is how it happened, and then he turns around again. And I'm pretty sure the scenes where he turns around, I'm pretty sure that's the same shot twice. I could be wrong, I've only seen this movie once, but when I saw it I was like, that's what he just did. But then as the shot went on, I was like, is that actually the same scene? Because there's wind blowing in his hair, and I swear it's the same. It blows his hair the same way each scene, each shot. It's so weird. I don't know if it's the same shot or what. I don't know if I'm imagining it. But what it felt like to me is they're like, oh wait, we forgot to film a scene, another shot of him turning around to react to this. We'll just use this one, It felt like that. Again, I don't know if it is. I could be making this up, but that's what it looked like to me. I want to know if anyone else noticed this, and if they did, am I correct? Is that what happened? I thought that was very strange. Did take me out of the movie for a second. The last thing I want to speak about for this is the dad feels completely different to the first movie. There's a couple scenes where like, oh yeah, he's not changed that much, obviously. He's a better person now, but he's not changed that much. But then he shows up later in the movie, and he's like a completely different character. It's so weird. It's like he's done all his character development off screen. There's character development in the first movie, but not to the point where he is at the end of the movie, of the second movie, which is that was weird to me. That's pretty much all I have to criticize about this. I have a few more things. It's not really a criticism or a compliment, I guess. I found it interesting how they went more into the paranormal side of this, where the guy's a ghost, which ghosts existed in the first movie, so it's not out of the realm of possibility for this universe. But he can actually move people and things about, which I thought was interesting, because it confirms that it's not in his head. It's not a thing that only he can see. I mean, it seems to be a thing only him and his sister and the grabber can hear, the phone, but the ghosts are real. It's not like some sort of thing where it's only he can hear it and stuff. It's everyone can see this. Everyone can see that this girl's floating about. So these ghosts exist just in general. It's not to certain people, they just exist to everyone, which yeah, I don't know if that was the intention of the first movie, but that's the intention here. And yeah, I mean, I thought that was interesting. Again, not really a criticism or anything, just thought it was interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for those movies. I thought they were both pretty decent movies. I mean, they weren't really anything special. The first movie was quite I forgot the word. Quite that's fun. Unique, maybe. I don't know if that was the word I was looking for, but I'll do. The first movie was quite unique compared to other horror movies. You don't see horror movies like that a lot. It was something different, which I appreciated. And the second horror movie, it felt more like a horror movie than the first one. So I guess it's a good starting point, a starting horror movie. I guess horror franchise as well, because the second movie might not make that much sense if you've not seen the first one. So yeah, I mean, they're pretty decent starter horror movies. I enjoyed the second one more, thought the first one's better. Yeah, so take that, do with that what you will. So I'm going to end the recording here, like in a minute. I will probably be in a different outfit because I have a couple more things I want to talk about, but I have to finish this here. I'm going to see Begonia, the new Yorgos Lanthimos, hopefully I said that correctly, movie. I've seen 2 of his movies. I've watched Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness. Hot take, very hot take, I think I prefer Kinds of Kindness. It was a very, again, controversial movie. People disagreed on it. I thought it was good. I thought it was weird. I liked it. I mean, what can I say? I thought it was a very strange movie, and I liked it. So I liked it more than Poor Things. Maybe not a better film. I don't know. I don't have the knowledge to say whether it's a better movie objectively, but I know that I enjoyed it more. So yeah, I'm excited to see this movie. I'm excited to see what it's about, because all I know is that it's about an alien, or these guys think she's an alien, so they kidnap her. So yeah, I'm excited to see this movie. So yeah, I'll tell you next week what I think of it. But yes, I will probably be in different clothes the next time, this next footage. But yeah, I'll give you a little hint of what I'm about to talk about, which will be in like a minute for you, or maybe even a second. So, comic books, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to finish. That's all I have to speak about next. So, yeah, I might not be in different clothes. I might do it when I come back. I don't know, it depends how tired I am. Okay, so I'm back from seeing Begonia. I will not say my opinions yet. I will leave that for next week. But yes, I need to talk about comics now. So I finished The Long Halloween. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. I really liked how they wrote it. I can see it being annoying to some people because it's very repetitive. Like every time Carmine Falcone shows up for the first time in the issue or whatever, it's like Carmine Falcone, Gotham's untouchable mob boss and stuff like that, like it just repeats every issue. But I think it worked very well also. That's, the lighting's weird, but there's not much I can do about that. But yeah, I really liked how this story was written. I thought it was a very good mystery. I had my suspicions at the start of who the holiday killer was. I was right, but halfway through, my thoughts started to subside on who it was, but turns out it was him. But yeah, I thought it was a very good written comic in general, but also a very good written mystery. I've also pretty much finished the Daredevil comic. I slipped, sorry. The Daredevil comic I've been reading. I think there's like 2 issues left, but for some reason they're like X-23 Wolverine comics, because I think Elektra Daredevil is in those, so it connects somehow. I don't know, it's a bit confusing, but I finished the main storyline, and again, I really enjoyed it. It did actually remind me a lot of how The Long Halloween was written, because, you know, they're both from the perspectives of the superheroes, the little, like, boxes, and they kind of repeat the same things each time, and I don't know if The Long Halloween was an inspiration for that, but yeah, I did find some similarities there. And also, I've thought for a while, Daredevil is much more of a Batman than Batman. You know, he's blind, he has like pretty much echolocation with his hearing. Yeah, I just feel like he's more of a Batman than Batman is. Like, people say that Moon Knight's Marvel's Batman, but I'd say Daredevil's more Marvel's Batman than anything. I've also got Alias, Jessica Jones #2, which is the second volume in the Jessica Jones series, like from the start. I really enjoyed the first one. Fun fact about that series back then, they were published under the Max label, which were for more mature Marvel comics, which I think is quite interesting. I don't think it's a thing anymore because I've not seen it in modern comics. But yeah, at one point they're like, we want to make more stuff for adults, so we're going to put swearing and stuff in these comics and put it under a new label. So that is pretty much how Jessica Jones was created. I don't know if this volume is, but I know the last volume, at least one of the writers was Brian Michael Bendis, who is probably my favourite comic writer. He wrote the Miles Morales. He created Miles Morales, I actually think, and Miles Morales is one of my favourite superheroes. I think he co-created it with someone else, but yeah, I really enjoyed his run of Miles Morales, so yeah, that's what made him one of my favourites, at least. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about for this podcast episode. I hope everyone has enjoyed it. I think it was a lot more rambly than the last episode. I messed up way more words. I don't know why. I thought I was bad at speaking the last episode, but I was much worse today. I don't know what happened. But yeah, that is the end of this episode. I will see you next week, and goodbye.